Tim sends this in. Elizabeth Warren and the military-industrial complex. Warren's views on country in the crosshairs of the U.S. State Department largely conform to those of her colleagues on Capitol Hill. Iran is a bad actor. Russia and China are working to undermine the basic human rights we hold dear, and so on. So this is more surrounding Elizabeth Warren, who I think Elizabeth Warren really is doing the dance right now. And I think a lot of people, the verdict is still out on her. I've always kind of described her as that one, like she's that one person where you want to think they're on your side, and then they'll do something that kind of hints that they are, and you're like, that's awesome. And then all of a sudden they, I support Medicare for all. Yes. I'm going to vote for the military budget. No. I'm not sure about Medicare for all. Right, no, I did go. I'm for removing troops from Syria and Afghanistan. Yes. I'm waffling a little bit on Medicare for all. No. That's kind of the Elizabeth Warren. It's like one step up, one step back. You can do the Elizabeth Warren dance. Progressive, just kidding. Progressive, maybe not. Progressive, still deciding. Progressive, we'll look at the polls. Progressive, not sure. Progressive, maybe. I hope there's a gift made out of this later. Hopefully it's not unflattering. Yeah, get your news on with Ron. Get your news on with Ron. Get your news on. Get your news on. Get your news on with Ron. All right. Back to the article. So Senator Elizabeth Warren is making strides to characterize her foreign policy vision as a progressive one after she announced she'd be forming an exploratory committee for a presidential run. Her record on issues in her association with war hawks contrasts sharply with her liberal rhetoric. Okay, so let's kind of... So she's a mixed bag. She has pushed back on U.S. support for the Saudi-led war on Yemen, but pushed for further U.S. military support for apartheid Israel and its war on Palestinians. Warren's views on the countries in the crosshairs of the U.S. State Department largely conform to those of her colleagues on Capitol Hill. We read this already. Iran's a bad actor. Russia and China working to undermine the basic human rights we hold dear. Following President Trump's detente with it's early, with North Korea at the summit in Singapore last year, Warren hastily issued a statement reducing the historical meeting to a photo op that doesn't change the fact that a nuclear-armed North Korea is a threat to the security of the United States, our allies, and the world. She has at times departed from the Beltway Consensus and issued anti-war votes, including against a bill that authorized Obama to train and arm so-called rebels in Syria in 2014. Warren's objections to war are typically procedural. Running for president requires a candidate to define their vision on a host of issues, and chief among them is foreign policy. So far, she hasn't made her views excessively clear, as many a savvy politician knows better than to do. So I think that's a pretty fair summary of some of the different positions she's taken. Some have been anti-war, some not so much. As far as all the 2020 frontrunners go so far, she is definitely among the better, I would say. She's better than Cory Booker, better than Kamala Harris, better than Biden. I mean, does that even need to be said? Biden. Which, by the way, he would hate this show. I'm a millennial. Joe Biden would hate this show. He would tell me to just go eat my avocado toast and shut the hell up. That's what Joe Biden would say to me. Joe Biden. So when it comes to war, Elizabeth Warren is definitely among the better in the 2020 nominees. I mean, basically her and Bernie are the only kind of beacons of light when it comes to pretty much all issues, but, when it comes to foreign policy too. And I think everyone's still kind of evolving on her. I mean, some people have their mind made up one way or another. Some people are sold on her. They say, yeah, she's a good progressive. She'd make a great president. Some people, she's a neo-lib. Don't be fooled. Again, I think she's doing this. She's doing this. It's the Elizabeth Warren. You could call this a disco dance, or if you're like me and you're gonna hold on to third wave as long as you can. This is the Elizabeth Warren skanking dance. And when I say skank, I'm referring to a type of dance associated with ska music. If you didn't know what that was, it's called skanking. And I used to do it when I was in high school. One time I was really drunk and I tried to show this girl what skanking was, and I almost fell into an empty pool. That wasn't fun. But yeah, she didn't know anything about ska music or anything like that. And I'm like, this will impress her. It didn't. But I was like, yeah, man, we go to shows and we skank. Let me show you how to do it. And I started doing it to no music, by the way. No music. I was just 15 and hammered, trying to impress this girl, going, and then the pool was there, like it was at someone's parents' house, and there was a pool there, and it was empty because it was the winter, and I almost slipped and fell into it. She's like, oh, this guy almost fell into a pool. I hope he's not drinking anymore, and I hope I never see him again. I don't know if she actually thought that. I'm assuming she did. We'll end it on there. That's Elizabeth Warren. Verdict's still out. Ron, still a geek in high school. That's one thing we have definitive. One thing we can say in the definitive. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your